Have you ever been there, praying for mercy, for a breakthrough, and it just feels like silence? It's a really tough place to be. Well, today we're going to dig into a powerful idea, one that might even be a little surprising, that God's mercy isn't just a given. It's actually waiting for something very specific from us.
So let's just ask the big question right up front, because it challenges a pretty common assumption. Is God's mercy automatic? I mean, does it just flow unconditionally, like a waterfall that's always on, no matter what we're doing or thinking? And for a lot of us, the answer feels like an obvious yes. Of course it is. It's a comforting thought, right? God is loving, so His mercy must be the default setting, always on, always available for us.
But what if the way we've been thinking about mercy is, incomplete? What if the Bible reveals a much more dynamic, kind of responsive relationship than we ever realized?
And here's the absolute core of it all. Divine mercy is not automatic. It's not some passive force that just washes over us no matter what. There's actually a condition.
See, instead of being automatic, mercy is something that gets activated. It's a response. You could almost think of it like a switch that has to be flipped or a circuit that needs to be completed for the power to flow.
Okay, so if mercy needs a key to unlock it, what in the world is that key? Well, the entire principle hinges on one powerful, and let's be real, often really difficult action: radical, brutal honesty.
And the Bible is surprisingly direct about this. Proverbs 28:13. It lays out a crystal clear spiritual law. If you hide your stuff, you don't prosper. But if you confess it and turn from it, you get mercy. It is a direct cause and effect relationship.
So what this verse is really showing us is a divine sequence, a specific order of operations. Check out the flow here. It all starts with the internal act of being honest with yourself. That honesty then gives you the courage for the external act of confession, and it's only then that mercy is obtained. The truth has to come first.
And this gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? God isn't impressed by how good we look on the outside or by our religious performance. He responds to an accurate self-assessment. That moment we finally drop the act and get honest with ourselves about where we're really at.
Okay, so this sounds like a pretty big idea. Let's make it real. Let's look at a case study of this principle in action. And one of the most powerful examples is the story of the Canaanite woman you can find in the book of Matthew.
So, when she comes to Jesus for help, I want you to notice what she didn't do. She didn't try to argue her case, she didn't get defensive about her reputation, and she certainly didn't demand what she thought was fair. She came with this posture of complete humility.
Now Jesus tests her with these incredibly harsh-sounding words, and her response is just remarkable. She doesn't get offended, she doesn't get angry and walk away. And that's the moment the entire story turns.
So, why did she get her miracle? The reason is so simple but so profound. Mercy came because she was brutally honest. She wasn't pretending to be someone she wasn't. She had already accepted her position, and she just owned it.
You can practically see the chain reaction her honesty set off. It all started with an honest look at her situation. That produced genuine humility. That humility led to a clear understanding of where she stood, which then fueled this incredible faith. And it was that faith, born from truth, that activated mercy.
So this brings it all right back home, into our own lives, because this principle of honesty, it directly exposes the blockage so many of us feel when our prayers for mercy just seem to hit a brick wall.
Think about it. How often do we pray for mercy, but we're still pointing the finger somewhere else? We might have this whole story built up where we blame our parents, or our spouse, our job, our past. And by doing that, we create this narrative that makes it impossible to be honest about our own role in the mess.
So this really leaves us with two very clear paths, two choices. We can go down the road of defending our ego, justifying our actions, explaining away our faults, and the result, mercy just waits. Or we can choose the other path, to just tell the truth, to ourselves and to God. The second we do that, mercy activates.
Now, to really get how this works, we've got to quickly distinguish between two words we tend to use interchangeably: mercy and grace. And for a lot of people, this is a huge aha moment. They are related, but trust me, they have very different jobs.
So first up, let's talk about grace. Think of grace as the divine power for obedience. It's the spiritual strength and ability God gives us to do what's right in the first place before we mess up. It's proactive.
Mercy, on the other hand, is the divine intervention that prevents destruction. It's the rescue operation.
It steps in after we've already failed, after we've disobeyed, and when the negative consequences we've earned are headed our way.
So when we find ourselves in that spot, in that place of failure, with consequences on the horizon, the path forward, the actual doorway to survival, is to activate that rescue operation. And how do we do that? Through unvarnished, unfiltered honesty. And it doesn't have to be some fancy, eloquent speech. It can be as simple and as raw as this. Lord, this is me. This is where I failed.
It's a prayer of just total ownership. No excuses, no justifications. This is where I ignored you. This is where I was wrong. That complete, blame-free honesty is the exact signal mercy has been waiting for.
So we'll end on that note, just turning the lens inward for a moment. In those places where you feel stuck, where you desperately need a breakthrough, maybe just ask yourself this: what is the truth that mercy is waiting for you to tell?